head, it's a beautiful place. Heart full of love, laughter in the air. We're dancing without a care.
Hello, beautiful people across Africa and beyond. How are we doing today? I know some of us are surprised to see me today. Today is our day. So all over the world today is celebrated as World Mental Health Day. Is just like every 10th of October each year. So today, the World Federation for Mental Health actually came up with a very beautiful theme, and the theme is access to services and then mental health catastrophes and emergencies. So, with this theme, what do you think is being aimed at? So, according to them, the aim is to highlight the critical importance of ensuring that mental health support is available to people in times of crisis, yes, whether due to natural disaster, global instabilities, insurgency, economic situations. I mean, I know flooding is having a toll in my country right now. So these services is just to create awareness that to highlight that these people, as they go through this trauma or significant event in life, they need mental health support to help them heal, to strengthen them, to help them cope with the trauma associated with these disasters. I mean, they are human beings, so it's quite essential for everyone, including the government officials, the health and social care providers, like school staff and community groups, to actually come together. So by working hand in hand, we can actually ensure that the groups vulnerable groups we are talking about is not just women and children. Our men are also part of it. Our young people, I mean, the high rate of suicide is within our young people and young adult as well. And then the aging population. The most important, let's not forget our servicemen. Most country, when we discuss about mostly the civilian, we don't even know that our gallant men and women who fight tirelessly day and night in war front, trying to safeguard the life of their citizens, also go through these issues. Yes, we shouldn't relegate them to the background. So this brings me back to our constitution. So there is this part of constitution, criminal code, I think section 327. It actually says that any person who attempts to kill himself is guilty of misdemeanor and is liable to imprisonment for 1 year. That is suicide. Yes. So, but do they actually ask you what are the circumstances, the predisposing factor for someone to even think of taking their own life? Yes, in many countries, they have actually decriminalized their codes about that the code that actually criminalizes people taking their own life. I know most country. Currently, I'm practicing in one of the Western world, and I know one of them decriminalizes theirs in the year 1961. Yeah, but in our Nigerian constitution today, is still there. That's how serious it is. I mean, that means we need a constitutional review. Yes. So let's take us back to what happened in pandemic. In pandemic, during Ebola, a lot of people died. Yes, some families were thrown into a lot of traumatic situation. Even not just Ebola. Let's refer back to what happened 5 years ago. That was during COVID-19. People were in a total lockdown. I mean, do you know what it means to take your freedom of movement? People's mental health were toyed with. People were saddened. People were hopeless. People lost their loved ones. Do you think these things do not have toll on our mental health? So that's what we are talking about. So it's quite essential for us to focus on our mind. The moment we start seeing mental health, like every other condition, like diabetes, hypertension, that's when a lot will change. Yes. Because I mean, we see our brain as it's not just a separate entity. If the brain is affected, let's know that I want us to know that the same way we have pathophysiology to different condition is still the same way we have pathophysiology to mental health illness, depending on the one you come down with. Yes, mental health is part of the ICD-10. I mean, currently we have the ICD-11. So we shouldn't take it as if it's quite a different thing altogether. I mean, in Africa, oh my God, a lot is going on in my country. So it has quite been a long silent storm. Yes, depression, anxiety, PTSD, bipolar, these things are not just foreign concepts. They live among us. So do you know that in Africa that we have the highest suicide rate in the whole wide world? Yes, about 11 per 100,000 people die in Africa. And yet, most African countries, they spend, I mean, less than $1 per person in mental health. Yes, that's telling you that it's quite bad. So, let me now ask you, have you ever felt overwhelmed? Have you been anxious? Have you been deeply sad? Or have you ever had this and you were able to seek for help? So if your answer is yes, you are not alone. That's why we are here today. Okay? So when was the last time you checked in with your mental health? I mean your mind. Not your phone. I'm not talking about your phone or your bank account. I mean your mind. So that's the why World Health actually set today aside for us to celebrate the importance of mental health. When you're broken mentally, you can function. Yes, you can. There is nothing you can do. So today is just about raising awareness to fight the stigma. This year focus is on how crises like flood, insurgency, kidnappings, pandemics, all these natural disasters can affect our mental health. So in Africa, honestly, we have seen it all. We have seen it all. A lot of things is going on now, from kidnapping, displacement, economic hardship. Mention all of them. They are so much. So all these things are enough to have a toll on our mental health. Like I said, our servicemen, our gallant soldier, they also need these services. Do you know where to get help? Have you talked about getting help? So let's even break down this stigma. So, like I said, this is seen as a spiritual problem. A cause, it could be a punishment or from your village people. I mean, I know in my country, over 70% of people believe that mental illness is caused by supernatural forces, like I said. So, I think we should come to the point to let's normalize for someone to be saying, oh, I want to see my therapist. Oh, I'm taking my mental health medication. Oh, I need a help. Say it with me. I need a help. There is strength in it. Yes. So, final reflection. Yes, what help are available in our local communities? Are there really any? We have just few psychiatric hospitals, and to access a therapist is quite expensive, honestly speaking. So the question is, what have you contributed to the local communities? Your little way of contributing to the local community can go a long way to help someone who is struggling with mental health condition. Mental health is not a luxury. It is a lifeline, especially in times of crisis. Yes. So today, let's celebrate not just awareness, yes, but action. Let's build a community where everyone in every village will have access to mental health condition. And then before we go, I want to leave this with you. You have the power to make a difference. Yes, you listening to me right now. So here is your mission for your mental health day. Share this episode with people that you know. You never know who might need to hear this. Yes, start a conversation. Ask someone, how are you really doing? Then just listen. No advice, just presence can go a lot. Volunteer or donate any little way to your local mental health team, and then prioritize your own mental health. So before we go, Um, let's show love to people struggling with mental health disorders. Yes. Those people, mad people on the street, the best thing you can offer them is not food or water. The best thing you can offer them is mental health medication. If possible, take them to the nearest healthcare facility. Yes, that's what they need. Remember, just like every other condition, the earlier you start treatment will determine how the prognosis of your recovery. Yes. The earlier you start treatment will depend on how well you're going to recover. And I want you to also know that the same way you don't stop taking your hypertensive medication is still the same way you don't stop taking your mental health medication. The moment you stop, you're going to relapse. So make sure that you stick to your advice of your mental health care providers. And the little way we can, I know we have few community services available. That's why we need to hold our politicians responsible to be able to establish some mental health facilities within our local communities to be able to serve our fathers and our mothers. Because I mean, if everyone travels out, I mean, we still have these people at home. Traveling out doesn't exonerate you from mental health. That's what I want you also to know. Prioritize your mental health. Please know when to seek help. If you're a victim of abuse, please look for a therapist. If you think you cannot walk, please walk away. Speak to someone. Try to listen to people. Do not always run into offering advice. Sometimes when you listen well, that's when you're able to provide any support you can. And as we celebrate today, let's also remember our loved ones who are battling with mental health disorder, people who have lost hope, people who are victim of violence, insurgency, disasters of any sort. Let's also offer them any little help we can. Giving them food or giving them clothes wouldn't help. Take them where they can get expert management. As I leave you today, think of something you can do for people with mental health illness. Yes. And also take care of yourself and stay safe. Please try as much as possible to rest. Okay?